Do you like Tunnock's biscuits? Yes, I love them. Every single one of them. Fantastic. And the Tunnocks are outstanding people. So there we go. It's on to me. Right, here we go, Tucks. You're live with Scotty's phone in. Who is that?
Yeah, guess who's going?
Ooh, just give me a minute, I tell you. So,
as much time as you want.
Yes, now listen, just so that you know, I'm not having a go at you or anything like that. I'm just kind of setting out the boundaries that people are comfortable with.
Yeah.
You know, and you know that because you are a highly intelligent man.
I'm pretty aware of the restrictions that this platform. In fact, I use the term "this platform" because I don't even want to use the platform that I'm on.
Well, no, because the thing is that people forget. They think that the platform Scotty McClue, but we're guests on another platform, and we have to just stick with that cause. Otherwise, the whole game just goes, you know, as has happened before. I saw a poor soul this week. He'd lost everything in his website, his business, his everything gone.
Yeah. Oh, it's extraordinary, weird, and the thing is, it's all done by artificial intelligence. And unless you've got over 1 million subscribers, if you appeal it, it's done by the same artificial intelligence.
I had to get my head round that. I kept getting answers back, and I thought, hang on a minute, I'm not talking to a human being here at all. Yeah,
absolutely. But listen, you're possibly not going to like this call, Scotty. The reason I phoned up is there's a lot of Burns stuff going around, and despite or possibly because of studying Burns at a proper university.
Yes.
Well, not proper because you were Glasgow, I was Strathclyde, right?
Oh, yes. But we understand, you know, the older parent and the value. We understand the Johnny come lately thing, you know?
John Street Polytechnic, yeah. I actually had entry requirements from both Glasgow and Strathclyde, but I did not. I chose Strathclyde over Glasgow.
Oh, listen, no, but absolutely, because it depends also what you're studying, as I say. If it was a technical thing, I'd probably, the Old Royal Technical College, outstanding. Strathclyde is an outstanding university. All the Scottish universities are outstanding universities. You know,
my degree was English, which you would normally go to Glasgow for. You get an MA.
Yes.
But I'd spent a lot of time in the West End beforehand. And I just thought, for me personally, I don't want to sound like a working class hero or anything like that, because I'm far from that. But Strathclyde more suited my sensibilities, and it worked out well. But anyway, the point of the call, in my second year I did Scottish literature.
Wonderful.
Burns, Scotty. It's Burns. I need to talk to you about Burns. I've got 2 points to make.
Listen. You started, you're not going to like this call. I'm already loving this call. Because, I was going to say, for the last 40 years, well, no, even more than that. Let me just get this right. For the last 55 years, I've been speaking at Burns suppers. I was doing the toast to the lassies when I was about 16, right? And I've been speaking at Burns suppers. The Greenock Burns Club is the #1, the mother club. And Burns Highland Mary is buried in Greenock, and statue at Dunoon greeting the ships the boats when they came in. So all that sort of stuff. So it's very, very powerful. And I love Burns and the whole thing. And obviously I've studied extensively. I mean, I've lectured, dare I say, on English literature, you know, Pride and Prejudice and all the rest of it. But I love my Burns. And the problem is, I thought tonight, no, you're not going on to do Burns and what have you. I would love if somebody phoned and they did Burns. I'll give you an example. I started reading the Address to the Haggis one year, but maybe 5 years ago on here. And then I gazed down in front of me halfway through. And this punter goes, "Oh, he's reading it." And I thought, why don't you come on and recite it off the top of your head then? You know? "Oh, he's reading it just 'cause I'd gazed down to say, Pinstripe or Thern, Willie, you worthy of the grace as long as my arm." What comes next? Oh, yes. You know, that sort of idea. Now, these things annoy me. I had a guy this week, I sang on whatever it was, TikTok or Facebook. Now, I'm not a great singer. I never have said I am. But somebody goes, "Oh, don't give up your day job, Scott Easy." Right, well, let's hear you.
Oh, you know,
Let's hear you.
I've referred to it before, but General Patton had a great phrase about opinions, which, anyway, I'm not going to repeat here, but people could look it up, right? General Patton's opinions statement are opinions. But what I was grateful, and you've just made me even more frightened to actually say what I'm going to say, is I do not like Burns, and I've got two things. The first one, you're going to savage me.
No, listen, no, you've no idea how interested I am in your opinion. I just got more interested, if that's possible.
Well, there's the American term, an Uncle Tom, and people can look that up. It's not the place for discussing
Uncle
that.
Tom Cobley.
You'll know exactly what it is. And I think that Burns is a Scottish Uncle Tom, because after the clearances you were talking about earlier on, they needed something in the Scottish canon in order to civilise the natives, and Burns was the one that the British establishment chose in order.
I know exactly what
comes from that.
I know exactly what's coming, Tups. I also, quite recently, you know, within the last 5 years, had my eyes opened about how popular he was, because he'd written to Tennant in Peebles, you know, the one that was friendly with Princess Margaret, not him, obviously, a forebear, but, you know, great big aristocratic landowners. And Burns was in with them all. And, of course, the famous picture of him entertaining in the Edinburgh drawing rooms. Now, you know that there's huge snobbery about being invited into Edinburgh drawing rooms. I've been in most of them, I have to say, so I have to, you know, eat a bit of humble pie. But, you know, there's a kind of an emptiness. And in fact, just bear with me 2 seconds, Tups, and then I want you to come back. What I've got here, somebody last week asked me what did I think of Inverary in Argyll. Now, I love Inverary. It's a beautiful place.
Beautiful weekend. Yeah.
And I know its history and everything, but he scratched 2 verses in the windows of the inn here. "Whoe'er he be that sojourns here, a pity much his case, unless he comes to wait upon the Lord their God, his grace. There's nothing here but Highland pride and Highland scab and hunger. If Providence has sent me here, 'twas surely was in anger." So that was his experience. So I think he maybe the chippy was closed or something when he was going through Inverary. I don't know, but he certainly was a bit dischuffed. Now, where he was very skilled, as you know, was at being just the humble plumin lad. But if we're using "by their fruits shall ye know them," he'd got himself in with all the hoi polloi and the aristas, and then, of course, a man's a man. You know, there, see yon belted knight, he's but a coof for all that. You know, the man is but the rank is but the guinea stamp, the man's the gowd, the gold for all that. Now, that's beautiful stuff. But, as you say, there's a wee double standard going on.
Well, yeah, it's almost like Billy Connolly mentioned this in a stand-up about 30, 40 years ago. He said that Scotland's the only country that sells tourist tat to its own people.
Yes.
And Burns is a bit like that, I feel. You know, I agree the language used is incredible, but I'm pretty sure the way things generally work is that there will have been many other people who weren't quite as palatable to the establishment, and I'm sure they were great writers as well. But the way that the English literature, and I mean English literature, canon is established is certain people are elevated to greatness because they're acceptable to the establishment.
Yes.
You know, do you know what I mean?
I know exactly. And remember, he was a customs and excise officer, so he'd worked for the establishment. And at the time, Dumfries, for instance, had running battles in the street with the radicals and what have you. There was a lot of wild people down in Dumfries. And when Burns died, they thoroughly disrespected him. He was obviously died a pauper, and he'd written down to saying, "You'll get your money." And in his 30s there with the rheumatic fever and then the endocarditis, when he died, they threw him in the town heap. They buried him in the town heap, you know, in a pauper's grave. And then somebody got a bit of a clutch of conscience, probably the Lairds, and they dug him up again. And his hair had gone pure white, and his head had rolled away from his body. And that was it. And then, of course, the building of the huge Burns memorials in Edinburgh and Ayr and Dumfries and all that started. As you say, it was acceptable to the establishment. And, well, you even look at my own situation now. Now, by rights, this programme should be going out on national and international television. And we should be discussing all the politics that have happened this week, right? Now, I would say I've proved I'm up to that, and it would be a lot more interesting than anything we've got on. But the present, and I use the word present, establishment don't see it that way. And it came back to me from somebody very senior that said, how come we're not using Scotty McClue? Because this man knows how to pull the big audience. And he said, we don't actually know his politics. And the reason they don't know my politics is because I don't really have any politics, which makes for an excellent programme. I mean, if I was interviewing Mr. Trump or Mr. Farage or whoever I was interviewing, you know, I wouldn't have any kind of bias in the interview. For instance, I saw the White House press secretary this week explain to a journalist. He'd asked a question, said, why did you ask that question? Said, because you're not a journalist. You're a left-wing activist posing as a journalist. And I think there's probably a lot of all that going on from both sides. Whereas I wouldn't be posing as anything. I would just be saying, Mr. Trump, can you tell us about this and why you've done it?
I've actually experienced something reasonably similar. As you know, we live in the best tenement in Glasgow.
Beautiful.
We have parties out the back, particularly in the summer.
The whole world aspires to be you.
Well, yeah. Oh, we are the luckiest couple in the entire world.
I would say so.
It's pure luck. It's not hard work. But there were one of our neighbours is young. He's young and happening and hip. And he had lots of young friends in their early 20s. And apparently once I had gone to relieve myself, one of these young ladies in her 20s said, what is politics? Because she couldn't figure out, because, you know, I'm kind of like, you know, fiscally very liberal, socially slightly conservative, but because I didn't fall into a particular social media category. She simply couldn't compute, but she also needed to know. That's the weird thing. She didn't want to discuss it with me. She didn't want to have a chat with me. She wanted to fit me into a preconceived category. That was just a couple of years ago. It's slightly off.
How do you get a label on somebody? I mean, one of the big questions that people ask in Glasgow, what team do you support?
Oh, God,
and if you tell them Partick Thistle or Manchester United, they're not happy. No, but what Glasgow team? You go, well, I don't know any of these teams. You see?
See that I've talked to you before about what team do you support? That just means which religion are you?
Yes. Well, you see, no. What they don't know is that there is only the one religion in that category, and what they're actually asking is what denomination are you? So, for instance, every Rangers supporter is Catholic, but not Roman Catholic necessarily. You see, and they forget that. It's like if you ask somebody what religion's the Pope, they go, he's Catholic. You say, no, he's not. He's Christian. Catholic is his denomination.
Yeah. Well, my father was he was a prejudiced Rangers supporter, but he married an extremely devout Catholic. So you would have had an interesting discussion with my father.
Well, no, you've shocked me. I've heard of a Rangers supporter, but not a prejudiced one.
Of course not. Heaven forfend. I mean, to be honest with you, that's the first matches I ever were taken to were Rangers, and that's what put me off.
And I know lots and lots of Catholics, but not too many devout ones.
I actually don't like the word devout, but I just used that as shorthand.
No, it's a very, very interesting word, but I think all of us could do well by living by gospel values, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've actually started referring to my poor mother. She doesn't deserve this, but I refer to her as a Taliban Catholic.
Taliban Catholic.
It's as high level as you can get.
Now, tell me this while I've got this genius on the other end of the phone here. Tell me, no, you're laughing, but this call is just, I'm lit up with this call. Let's sum up then, what do you think of Rabbi the Bard? What do you think of the whole thing?
Well, can I tell you that there was the second thing, because about 3,000 years ago, I said that I had 2 points. And this, even you, Scotty McClue, are not going to be able to argue against this, right? Strap yourselves in, folks. Beastie and Breastie is a terrible rhyming couplet. Go on, argue against that, big man.
But the beastie, well, you see, is a mouse really a beastie? I would have thought a beastie is more like a cow or a bull or something like that.
Nobody ever said in the history.
No.
It's like that old song, you say potato, I say potato. Nobody ever says potato.
Maybe it was a misprint in the Kilmarnock edition, and it's bestie. Is there a panic in thy breastie?
Okay. Well, that's shoehorning a square peg in there. Anyway, this has been surprisingly enjoyable. I was genuinely hesitant about talking about this.
No. This is just absolute gold. The whole of every listener has stayed on because this is pure gold.
Well, you pass my regards on to all of them, and I'll let you go. Okay?
And dinky do, Tups. I love it. Thank you again.
Take care, man.
Tarala. How fantastic. Guys, to get a Burns scholar on who disapproves of him and can tell us why. That is absolute broadcasting gold. Now then, have we time for a Burns song? I think we've denigrated the poor man more than enough. bun suppers all over the world. I even gave you a rendition of "Oh, the earth, the winds can blow." There you are, there's a wee bun song on the Moothy for you. And have we time for a quick one on the box? Let's see, we've got the box. Oh, we've got the box. We might just squeeze this in. I tell you. Reaching on the box for you guys, and a wee something for buns now, Rabbi buns, fantastic stuff, dinky do. So been a great show tonight, says Susan. Thank you, Susan. Lovely to have you with us, and welcome, welcome, I say. And I'll name the tune. It's chime number 3 on my doorbell. Professor Numpty, it will be. You'll have programmed all the songs into your doorbell, I know, being a Scot. Good night all, says Susan. Good night, Susan. You take great care of your dear self, and a big dinky do to you. I hope you're keeping a lot better. Now then, what have we got here? That voice takes me back, big Scotty. Don't cheek up or I'll cut you off. Do you know Craig and Doran? I love Craig and Doran, where the Waverley used to be based. I've got to go. I love you. Night, night.